This is the wrap-up for the live market open. It's Wednesday, December 2nd. We had lots of events and we have lots more today. German unemployment data beat expectations, and so did Eurozone unemployment figures. Good news from the Eurozone, not for the first time this week. The question is it enough to stop Draghi? Probably not. But today we have the inflation figures, which are, of course, ECB's single mandate headline inflation. And this is the key event for the euro to watch. Probably not change the ECB's mind, but it can certainly impact the euro. Okay, UK manufacturing yesterday missed and kept the pound a bit depressed. Canadian GDP missed as well, fell by 0.5 month over month. Canada is officially out of the recession, but still looking for a direction. The Kiwi dollar extended its gains thanks to milk prices rising by 3.6%. After 3 consecutive falls. Yesterday we had bad figures from the United States in general. Forward-looking ISM manufacturing PMI showed contraction, shrinkage in the manufacturing sector in the United States, but we had a silver lining. Employment is growing in this sector. Shallow growth, but it's positive. It's a positive hint for the non-farm payrolls. We also had 2 doves talking yesterday from the Fed. But there was a difference. Charlie Evans of the Chicago Fed was dovish, but accepted rate hike, while Lyle Brainard of the board, she was making her arguments against rate hike very, very dovish. Okay, Australian GDP beat expectations with 0.9%, and that helped the Australian dollar maintain the break above resistance. Okay, today we had already Spanish unemployment change coming out better than expected, continuing the winning streak of Eurozone figures this week. UK construction PMI at 930 always shakes the pound, always lots of action around that. It's the best sector in the UK. Eurozone inflation, as mentioned, we're expecting 0.2 in the headline number and 1% in core inflation. Every tick up or down will rock the boat. In the beginning of the US morning, we have Dennis Lockhart, a relative hawk, talking. ADP non-farm payrolls, key release for the NFP on Friday. Expected there around 190,000. Above 200,000 would be good for the US dollar, and the miss would be negative. It isn't always well correlated, but it always moves markets. First public appearance by Yellen today at 1:30 GMT. Not expected to say anything because these are only opening remarks, but she speaks later at 5:25, a full speech, and this could be meaningful. She speaks also tomorrow in an official testimony, so maybe she'll keep the best for last, but I believe she will move markets. We also have the revised unit labor costs in the United States, and we have a rate decision from Canada. No changes expected in the interest rate, 0.5%. The tone of the statement is expected. It always, of course, moves the Canadian dollar. Figures have been relatively positive in Canada lately, employment, inflation. On the other hand, we had oil prices still depressed, and this impacts the whole economy. Okay, another Fed member, John Williams, a centrist from the San Francisco Fed, speaks at 8:40. And during the night, we have Australian trade balance and Chinese services PMI. Less important than manufacturing in China, but still rocks the boat for the Australian dollar. Let's look at the charts. Euro dollar, despite all the good news from the Eurozone and some bad news from the US, it did recover in the range 105.60 to 106.30, but seems unable to break higher. Okay, further resistance 107.10, 108.30. And downside 105.60, 105.30, and 104.60, the 12-year low. Pound dollar is now sliding just a bit ahead of the construction PMI, 150.67, support at around these levels, 105, 150.60, further support at 150, resistance 151.15 and 152. Dollar yen rising in range. We're seeing some strengthening of the US dollar this morning. 123.20 is weak resistance, stronger resistance at 123.60, support 122 122.80 and stronger support double bottom at 122.20. Canadian dollar awaiting the rate decision around this battle line of 133.70, resistance 134.60 and support 132.80, 132.40. Aussie dollar made a nice break after a struggle above 72.80. Next resistance 73.60, but it seems to be a bit hesitating. Further resistance 74.75, support 72.20 and 71.50. And the Kiwi dollar maintains its gains 66.64, resistance at 67, support at 66, and then 65.50 and 65. Okay, these are the main currencies, main events. Very, very, very busy day. It's going to get even busier tomorrow. We'll do a larger preview of the ECB decision tomorrow, and we'll analyze everything that will happen today, and it's very, very busy. Stay tuned Forex Crunch and FX Trade for all the updates. Okay, and now before we